What's up, everybody? Welcome to another session of Fourth and One. It's your boy Moy, Ray, Robbie, Nick, and Nav. Let's get it going. Big news coming out of Seattle. Woo! A lot's been going on, so that's what we're gonna start off with, and then we'll hit a little bit of Rodgers and what else is going on around the league. All right, so we're gonna start it off with that big news out of Seattle. Russ is gone. No more Russ. Right. So, what do we think, fellas? What do we think? Let's talk about it.
I'm going in right now. I'm going to tell everybody right now who won that trade. The Seattle Seahawks won that freaking trade. Let me tell you why.
Are you going
why
like Skip Bayless or something right now? Like purposely
I'm trying to do the best Stephen A impression I can.
Stephen A, yeah, I was gonna say Stephen A.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot
Let him
going
roll
on.
with it. Go with it. Go.
Okay.
You gotta use big words. You gotta use big
Now
words.
my confidence is ruined a little bit. I was trying to come in hot. Now it's not looking like that. But I think Seattle won this trade, and the reason why I'm saying they won the trade is, does everybody not know where Russ is going? He's going to literally probably one of the hardest divisions now in all of football, because he has first Patty Mahomes twice, he has the first Justin Herbert twice, and I'm not going to count out the Raiders because I still want to know what Josh McDaniels is going to do. He has a plan. I just don't know what it is, but he has something cooking up his sleeve. So I'm excited to see. I can seriously see them losing. I can see them losing 5 games just in their division. So I can see them losing twice against Kansas City. I can see maybe you can do 1-1, maybe 1 win, 1 loss against the Chargers, and then especially 1-1 with the Raiders, because every time the Raiders versus the Broncos, you guys give them hell every time. It's your guys' divisional rival. So, and I think it helps the Seahawks. The Seahawks can help rebuild their team. They don't have to worry about a quarterback this year. Worry about it next year, because the quarterback draft this year sucks. So worry about it next year. You have 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders. You got a good tight end. I don't think Noah Fant's that trash, but he's not the best, but he's not too bad. They also got, Drew Lock. I don't even have to mention his name. They're going to cut him probably once they get probably put his steps on the field. And then if you guys can help me out, who was the last guy that they got? Is he a defensive tackle, or what's his?
Shelby Harris. He's an amazing locker room guy.
Is he a defensive tackle, Rob, or is he not?
He's on the D line. I think he plays defensive end.
And,
Shelby something.
Is he a really good? Are you serious about? Or are you just joking with the locker room?
No. He's solid. He's a good guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if I was missing anything.
No,
I saw Moy laughing in the corner, so I didn't know if this guy was the trash or not. But I think Seattle won the trade, man, long term, because I think that division and everybody in the AFC is hard to beat right now.
So tell me this. So everyone last year, somewhere around this time, kept saying the Detroit Lions won that trade. I already said the Rams won the trade because they got a Super Bowl out of it. So if Russell Wilson goes and throws 1 Super Bowl out of it, doesn't that automatically mean that, the Broncos got the better of that trade? Because now, what's Seattle's future? They're going to go a quarterback in the draft? Are they going to dump everything for Deshaun Watson? Where are they going to go now? They have nowhere to go. Drew Lock is not the guy. Geno Smith's not the guy. Where are they going to go?
They're only going to go up because they can draft it. When they do the draft and free agency, they don't have to worry about paying Russell Wilson anymore. So you do the 2 drafts. They got 2 first-rounders. And they also have 2 first-rounders next year, I'm assuming, and 2 seconds. So you can easily build your team around a young franchise quarterback that they can get next year in the draft.
What franchise quarterback? Oh, so they're going to get it next year in the draft?
Next year. No. Okay. Yeah, next year. Forget, I said, forget about this year. Yeah. There's no quarterbacks this year. Forget free agency, forget all that. Just build around your team first from the draft through free agency. Now they have money. They got to have money now, right? You don't have Russ. You don't have to pay a quarterback X millions, X's of dollars or whatever. So now it's just get your franchise quarterback next year. You got a hell of a good team. I think they'll be fine.
Wait, who has a hell of a good team? Seahawks?
Oh, well, if the Seahawks draft really well for the next 2 years and they go out and get free agency key players just to fill needs, I think that they'll be fine next year with a young franchise quarterback.
But you can say that about every team. If they draft really well for 2 years and they get all the right franchise or free agent players, they'll do great.
It's not easy, but it's
hard. The thing is, the Seahawks have terrible draft record. They are not good at drafting, so I don't know what they're thinking they're going to do with those draft picks unless they turn around. So this is why they lost the trade. They traded 2 first rounds for Jamal Adams. So they basically swapped Russell Wilson for Jamal Adams, Noah Fant, the and Drew Lock and the other guy in a second. Like that's terrible. Like the Jamal Adams trade is gonna like haunt them in their draft capital. And also, I mean, Russ is going to that division, and it has Patrick Mahomes, but it's not like the NFC West. We've been to the Super Bowl and NFC Conference like almost every other year, if not every year. Like that division is just as stacked as far as talent. Like the Chargers haven't proved anything. I know. What's his name? Herbert is great and good talent. They haven't proved anything yet to actually be contenders. The Raiders haven't necessarily proved that they're contenders yet either. You just have the Chiefs, and over the next couple of years, the Chiefs are starting to going to lose key players because Patrick Mahomes' contract starts to kick in, and they're going to start paying their star receivers like Tyreek Hill and Frank Clark, and then you have Mahomes' contract kicking in. It could go downhill real quick, and he could run that division. Just in the sense of they have a lot of young players. That's one of the perks of it is they have a lot of guys like that are young and they can develop. And I don't think it's as hard of a division as we think it is, but we'll see if the Chargers take that next step and what happens with the Raiders. But I mean, the Seahawks, if you trade, I mean, I think anyone who trades away a franchise QB loses. Like, if you trade away a franchise QB, like, the chances of finding a top 5 QB like that, like, Russell Wilson's the only reason the Seahawks remained relevant since the Legion of Boom, basically.
Yep.
Like, that's why, like, I'm so glad he's gone, because you just watch him come in and just take control of games out of nowhere. Like, how do you do this? Like, and so I'm so glad that other people I'm so glad the Raiders fans will get to experience this twice a year of these like miraculous moments that you're just like, holy crap. Like, I hate this guy, but I respect him. But I'm so glad he's gone. And, I'm so glad that now the Seahawks are basically doing a fire sale and rebuilding under Pete Carroll again. And yeah, they have terrible draft space. They're let go of Bobby Wagner. They're shopping Tyler Lockett. I mean, this is like when they were making fun of the 49ers after the Jim Harbaugh exodus, and we were going through Chip Kelly and Tom Sulu and all those guys, and we just had terrible. This is what the Seahawks are going to have, I feel like. I just don't see them developing a brand new rockstar team, and to get that QB is such a shot in the dark. Like, I mean, we say next draft class is going to be better for QBs, but we don't know. You don't know. Like, you don't know who's going to be the next Tom Brady in the 5th round. It could be someone this year who people are under evaluating, and you get a first round guy that busts like Josh Rosen or a lot of other QBs. So I don't think you win trading Russ away, but I don't know what Russ didn't do much in Seattle anyways, outside of just keeping them as constant contenders, but they couldn't ever make the next step. So I don't know if that's going to change in Denver. It depends on what pieces. And I think the thing that will determine it is if people see that as a place to chase rings like they did with Tom Brady, and they just start all coming over. If that's the case and they want to chase rings and they're the new Rams or whatever, or the new Bucks, then I think they could be serious contenders.
So what do you think, Russell Wilson getting traded, Bobby Wagner getting cut, but Seattle got so much draft capital, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, forget about Drew Lock, but what do you think that means for the Niners going into next year? Do you feel more confident about it now?
Yeah, I think it sets the stage to make Trey Lance once a lot easier, his path to winning the division, if anything. But I think it automatically puts the Niners and the Rams as the top 2 in the division. The Seahawks have owned us for the majority of the last 10 years, so I think that gives us a much easier chance. Even if unless they bring in Deshaun Watson, but then again, Russell Wilson couldn't win with that team enough, so he wanted out. So I don't know why Deshaun Watson would want to go to a team that Russell Wilson wanted out of.
Right.
So I just don't think if they bring in a rookie or whatever, like, I think I'm super hopeful about it. I think Seahawks fans will quickly realize how bad their team was without Russell Wilson.
So I've been waiting this whole day because I really want to get Nav and Moy's take on this. What does Russell Wilson getting traded to the AFC West mean? Let Nav start it off.
Go ahead, Nav.
For me, it's the worst thing that could be possible.
It was that monkey paw. Like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to the Broncos.
Yeah.
I literally texted
and then an hour later, you're like, oh shit, Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos.
Yeah, so either one. I mean, either if it was Rodgers or Wilson, this is like the worst thing that could happen to us. But it kind of sucks because like Broncos is not a bad team overall, and the only thing, like the main thing that they're missing was a QB, and now they have a QB. Now they're automatic contenders in our division, and they were the worst in our division, and now they jump to right there in second to third best. Yeah, I definitely don't think.
So what does it mean for the Raiders?
Um,
Raiders got to make a big move. You guys
Yeah.
got to go get
There-
some.
there's-
Deshaun Watson now.
It's kind of
There-
like
Josh
every.
McDaniels has a plan.
I think it's like
No.
it's kind of like
Trust in
every.
that dude.
It's an arms race. Like every team, when this stuff happens, it's like you gotta get more weapons.
You gotta get one
upgrade
more
them.
up,
You gotta get
yeah.
the next weapon.
There-
But you gotta
Yeah.
keep one upping each other.
How do you think the Raiders can one up?
You got to get a QB.
I think if Josh McDaniels really believes in Derek Carr,
Uh-huh.
I think if boys over here, I think if he believes in Derek Carr, we keep Derek Carr, but we build the team around Derek Carr. Just make our teams a lot. You know what? Make our defense the top defense. If we have a top defense, these guys. I mean, what can they do, right? Like that's one way we could stop our division from getting ahead of us. From ahead of us.
So while everybody's building the offense, you want to build the defense? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Play defense. Defense does win games.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll just tell you. I'll just let you know. You guys already have Mahomes, so you've experienced. Enjoy Russell Wilson escaping the pocket. Like, no, there's a reason why all the NFC West teams have stacked D lines. Like, and it was Russell Wilson. Like, now there's Kyler Murray and stuff.
That's who started it. Yeah.
Yeah, Russell. Like watching him, just you like guaranteed a sack, and just somehow he gets out of it. And you're like, what just happened? How did they just get a touchdown out of a sure sack?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
what do you
so-
think, Moy?
But how
So
would
real
you?
quick,
What do you think, Moy?
I just want to put everything together. I do agree with Nick when he said when you trade a franchise QB like that, you lose the trade. And if we look here at my top 5 QB list, who's on there?
Lamar Jackson.
No,
I see
Wilson.
Lamar on there.
We got-
Lamar on there.
hold
I
on,
see
we got-
Lamar on there.
Yeah, Lamar's on there for sure. I
We
see
got
that.
Wilson on there. There's a reason why Wilson's on there. He's the original Houdini, like Nick says, right? I've watched him play in Seattle, and this man's a magician. Like he could just break out of so many tackles, and then this dude throws it, and you're like, he's just airing it out there. No, this dude is a magician, and we are gonna have to see him twice on top of seeing Mahomes. I was excited for the Raiders. I was like, all right, we got the coaching staff and this and that, and then when they posted that whole Devontae Adams bought a house in Las Vegas, and I was like, oh snap, all right, can we get Rodgers and Devontae Adams? But then today I'm like, Raiders just went from up here to being last in the division. I honestly think we're gonna be last, bro.
And
So,
I can't
thing-
see.
Damn.
If we keep Carr, I can't see Carr keeping up with Mahomes and Wilson.
So you don't believe that Josh McDaniels has a plan? You don't believe that?
I think he
You're
had one.
literally
It went out
shaking
the
your
door.
head at
Yeah,
the head
I
coach
agree
you
with
guys
Nick.
just got.
He had one,
He
but
had
he didn't have one.
He
with
hasn't
this
even
now.
done anything. He just got there. You got to give him an opportunity.
He got to go get a quarterback. He got to
But I don't think
counter
it's with
this.
Carr.
No,
I don't think it's with Carr. I
yeah,
think
that's
he's
what-
moving on.
that's why I said he has to go get a quarterback. Whether it's Watson, I mean, if we believe we could get Watson, but Carr cannot hang with Mahomes twice and now Wilson twice.
Yeah.
With Herbert, I think
Herbert. Yeah.
with Herbert he can hang, but
Yeah.
not the two magicians.
And the
So-
thing too, if you think, if I believe that Denver's O line is much better than Seattle's. Seattle's a Swiss cheese, and I
Mhm.
think Denver's O line is a lot better. So you pair Russell Wilson back there with a better O line and the weapons the young weapons he has. I think he's gonna be shredding things up. I think I'm excited to actually watch him from the non NFC West perspective, so I can actually enjoy him. And I want to see him go against Mahomes and Herbert and even the Raiders. But I'm excited to see him from that perspective now and get in the AFC. But so Nav, how would you though see the thing with rebuilding or building out the rest of the team? You do that when your QB has a rookie contract, so you can pay everyone. How do you build the rest of the team when you have to also sign Derek Carr for 30 million, something like that?
Mm.
I don't know. What Ray said, Josh McDaniels has a plan. Maybe it's all these little pieces that can add. I mean, you don't need these top high end players to to make a team together. I think we could get little pieces here and there, make some adjustments, get ready. And if Derek Carr is not our guy, we can just walk away, and that's all we'll be. That's all we need. We just drafted QB, and all it's done. It's like said and done for him to just come in and just toss the ball. That's
So, are you ready for a rebuild for the next few years? Because that's what getting a new QB honestly almost feels not always the case, but sometimes you have to like rebuild, and I feel like the Raiders just don't have enough pieces yet to continue to play Mahomes twice a year, play Russell Wilson now twice a year. So like, what are you saying? Are you saying to rebuild?
No, definitely not rebuild. Well, look what Broncos just did. They had all these little pieces perfect. Drew Lock came in. He was not the guy. They drafted him, and he was not the guy, obviously. So they waited. I mean, I guess waited. I guess you could say waited, but like they kind of seen that he's not the guy, and they went and got Russell Wilson. And all of a sudden they're contenders now, just from one guy coming in. So I mean, like
that one guy's a top 5 QB.
Yeah,
Disputed top 3 QB. So
Top 5 QB.
May I
Top
may
five
I also
QB.
add one thing?
no.
May I also add one thing? The to answer your question though, Nick, like how do you like when you pay a quarterback X amount of money? Obviously, well, it seems like who gives a shit right now with that, because it seems like the salary cap. Every time I think, how can you afford Rodgers and then go get Devontae Adams on a free agent tag or whatever, and then they're probably going to go sign somebody else. Like they say with the Patrick Mahomes thing. I get what you're saying, his deals or whatever, but seems like they're going to sign everybody. It seems like the salary cap doesn't even matter anymore. Like, because every time I think, how can they sign these guys?
It does, but
it's impossible.
It doesn't, because if that was the case, then what happened to Legion of Boom? You paid Russell Wilson, and you paid a few. Like, you can pay a few guys, you can keep a few pieces, but eventually it starts to catch up. And just like with the Chiefs, it's starting to catch up. Like, they're starting to pay guys, the contracts are getting in. They're going to start losing some of those other key contributors that they were kind of middling, and now they're going to go get paid somewhere, or they're going to do this. I mean, it's just what happens. I know the cap's fake a lot of times or whatever, like, and you'll push it out. But even if they bring back Rodgers and then they tag Devontae, like, they're still losing other pieces, and then eventually it catches up. Or if you don't draft well, then you're really screwed. So, I mean, you can. I don't know. I just think.
Let me ask one more thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nav. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think we should still just build our team around Derek Carr, and next year, I mean, let's just say everything's good, and Carr's not our answer, so we go and get Watson.
What year is he on? What year is Carr in?
This is his last year.
Final year.
He's in 5th year.
Yeah.
What if he says, "I'm not playing without a contract"?
Then we just trade him.
Trade him.
What?
You want a Jimmy? You want one slightly used Jimmy G? You can cut Derek Carr.
That's what I'm saying. Just build the team. Don't worry about the QB.
But don't you think that sends a bad message to Derek Carr if you're not signing him this year? Like, why would he want to play and risk a potential injury or something when you're not committing to him? I guess that's a different topic, so we can sidebar it. But I just feel like I know what you're saying. I just don't think it's
doable.
Yeah, I don't think it's doable, especially with the way that people just don't play on their 5th year contracts anymore.
Yeah,
or their 4th year, like they get extended or you release them. Like it's just in the good faith. So.
Moya, I see you shaking your head when Nav was talking. What are you thinking? Feels like you're disagreeing with him.
What part? Yeah, I don't agree when he's saying build around Carr. I don't know. For a while I haven't. I've said this to many of my friends who are also Raider fans. I just haven't been a believer of Carr ever since that injury. I don't know. He hasn't been the same, and I just don't think he's the guy that you can win the Super Bowl with. If we want to compete now in that division, can't go with Carr.
So what do you say? Draft a QB?
Where are you gonna go?
That's the thing, you can't draft.
Can't.
I mean, you
Exactly.
can, but
Carr's our best bet.
I think you got to sit this year out. I think you
Exactly.
trade Carr. But I think you offload Carr to like the Panthers or someone like that, and then you sign you sign like a Jameis Winston for like a 1 year, 2 year, or someone just to tide you over and stop and kind of crank up your draft capital, and you hope you get someone better or someone becomes available in the trade market. One of these teams is unhappy.
That would be, and I hate to say it, but I think that's the most realistic, solution. Especially, come on, I don't think we'll be able to compete. So why not just deal him out and then just
Tank
you know,
and tank it. Say it. Say it, Moy.
And I don't know
Tank
if
it,
it's
man.
I don't know if it's just
not tank, but you know,
Let's
just
go.
go out there and try your
How
best. You know.
how did
Tank
Niners
it. I've been
how did
saying it the
Niners
whole goddamn time.
just
how did
Tank
Niners
that
how did
shit.
Niners
Get that quarterback from Alabama. Now you guys got a 5-year deal, and you guys can rebuild and do whatever you guys want. Then Patrick Mahomes and all the money that's going to them, it's all going to go downhill, like Nick said.
Because
And
Russ
it's the
will
same
be
with
done
Russ.
too. Russ will be
And
done
it's
like
the
in
same
5
thing with
years.
Russ.
You know, he's
And then-
older too. He'll be
Nav,
done in like
I'll
5
answer.
years.
How do Niners keep drafting high? It's because
No. No, I was gonna say, how did Niners go to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G?
because we built a talented team around him, and he could do. We also have Kyle Shanahan, who is probably the best. Like,
And
And you
has the
guys have
most
a
QB-friendly
better
team.
defense than the Raiders.
We also do this. So this is the other thing too, because we have had Jimmy G. We go to the Super Bowl. Then he gets injured. Then we get the number 2 pick. Then we go to so we bounce up and down. We have these off years. Like we had a year where he got injured. We got Nick Bosa. Then he played. We went to the Super Bowl. Then the next play he got injured, and then we got another like high draft pick or whatever. We did that, and we got I don't know whoever. But there we have these kind of ups and downs to where like when you're like Russell Wilson, the Seahawks, you're constantly at this level where you're picking in the mid 20s. Like every year you're not building your team, and then so because we've had at least that up and down, we've been able to get really high draft capital, and then we've just built I think that D-line, our run game, and just having Kyle Shanahan has made it like I don't know that it's the system, and Jimmy could execute the system. So even though he's flawed, his short, quick releases was perfect for the system, and Kyle Shanahan worked around that. So if McDaniels can work around Carr, and you have the players. We also had a George Kittle. We also had a Debo. Like we have Raheem Mostert. So we had like certain players that broke out.
Yeah.
It just depends on if you have those players and you can do it. But it showed even with all that, Jimmy was a limiting factor. There was always the boneheaded throwaway interception. Somehow he lets teams back in the game down 12 points. Like there was always these limiting factors, and it was clear that Shanahan didn't trust him in a lot of those moments. So you can do it, but we got as close as we could and still couldn't quite get there. Jimmy didn't throw like a TD in the last 2-3 playoff games or something like that. Like there's some major problems with it. But I mean, I think Derek Carr's better than Jimmy. But Jimmy was just in the perfect situation.
Yeah,
And
I agree
that's
with
what
that.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We could end up being in a perfect. Carr could be in a perfect situation, and the only thing that will hit us down would be Carr. But I mean,
I don't know. We
right now.
But to be fair, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch did a total rebuild of the team when they came in 2017. Like they cleared everything, and they did a clear rebuild and built.
Sometimes rebuilds is what you need. Yeah, I totally agree.
You guys have a lot of good players, though. So I mean, our team.
Yeah, I don't think rebuild is our issue. I don't think.
Yeah, you just gotta find who you want and just trade the farm. I mean, it's kind of what we do, what teams do now for the QBs they want, unless there's like a star. You guys should offer everything for Trevor Lawrence and hope he turns out.
I mean, stuff like that could easily just turn around our whole team. But I just think obviously quarterback is the most.
Oh yeah,
the top position out of any other position. So you really need a good quarterback. But I don't think I'm not a huge Carr fan. But I don't. I'm not gonna say that Carr is the only issue, or Carr is the only thing that is stopping us from the Super Bowl or going anywhere farther in our division. But I think he could get us there. I think he could definitely get us there. I just think we just need a good team around him.
I mean, honestly, Carr puts up a lot of points. He does good. You guys' defense kind of fails a lot of times in the last.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The last segment of the game, they're letting teams back
in. Yeah, and last year we lost our head coach halfway of the season, and we still made it to the playoffs. We had so it's I don't know. I just think that I think what we're doing is just in the right path, and if we need to change our QB, then it could happen. But we could still stay with Carr and go pretty far too.
I think Carr is the best decision for you guys to keep right now. Ray, so what do you think Russell Wilson going to the AFC means for the Patriots and Ravens to make it to the Super Bowl?
To make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because now we know Russ is going to be in the playoffs every single year, and he's only 33 years old, so he's going to be there for a long, long time.
At least 5. At least 5 years.
Easily 5. Yeah.
Does anybody know what Russell Wilson's injury history right now is?
He literally had never missed a game until this last year when he tore his finger.
And it's
When
only
he
a
came
finger.
back,
But
he came back. He didn't look good, right?
Well, he just recovered. Like, no, the immediate game,
He came back sooner.
he didn't come good.
he came
But
sooner,
then
yeah.
the last game, like they shredded the Arizona Cardinals at the end of the season. Like they were doing good. He started good. He came back too early though.
Yeah.
He came back too early. Okay. So do you think that no injuries or anything like that? You think any player can get injured at any given time. It's football,
Right.
But he doesn't have a history.
with that finger though, that finger should be 100% good.
Yeah, that's probably not even an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. I don't really know what the answer, because I was going off. The reason why I was bringing up the injury stuff is because he's 33 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying he can't take those shots, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm kind of worried about his injury history now because
He don't got an injury history.
He doesn't have an injury history.
That's the
He
thing, too.
doesn't
He
have
got sacked a lot. He got sacked a lot
Yeah,
in Seattle.
exactly.
Are you saying his body breaking down? Is that what you mean?
I think his body it could be breaking down. I mean, he's not going to be able to pull that Houdini stuff off anymore if his body's getting, he's
crazy.
getting older. I'm telling you.
He will still pull off that Houdini
if he
stuff.
declines,
I'm
yes.
serious. Now, as far as him getting in the way of Patriots and Baltimore, I mean, they'll probably get in the way of the Patriots, but not Baltimore. I mean, let's just be honest.
This guy.
And the Patriots, but I think Baltimore had to be fine. I don't even know what their schedule is this year. Are they versus the Bills? Are they versus Green Bay? I mean, are they versus
Green
Seattle?
Bay? What?
Well, because AFC versus NFC, sometimes. So,
Are you talking about preseason?
oh man, I'm talking about for the regulars. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know what
No,
the
it
schedule
hasn't.
is.
The schedule hasn't come out yet.
Well,
It's
no, but
already
it
figured out.
has, but it
will
hasn't.
play. So they will play the Baltimore Ravens one time
Okay.
this year,
Oh, it's an easy win.
and they will pay. They do not play the Patriots.
Oh, they're lucky because they would have
We're
lost.
playing the Patriots.
Oh, that's gonna be good. The Raiders and the Patriots are gonna play.
The Raiders have to play them
Yeah.
twice. They're in the same division.
No, I'm saying with the
Patriots?
Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots.
No,
Sorry.
yeah.
All right, let's y'all want to move on to Aaron Rodgers, the other big news of the day. Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about that.
Supposedly getting a new contract, but now didn't. Right, Nick? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
tweeted that he wanted to clarify that he hasn't signed anything, but he is coming back, and the terms have not been worked out. The supposed rumor that came out was it was $200 million, 4 years, 150 mil guaranteed. But the other rumor is saying that no, it's actually going to be a more team friendly deal to help out the team, which I actually kind of tend to lean towards because they franchise tag Devontae and it's going to be really expensive. So it doesn't make sense if they were saying they're going to pay Aaron, or unless they literally work out a new contract and like this year he's making nothing, and it's all like next year and they've agreed like, hey, Devontae, you can go after this year, but we want to keep you this 1 year. So I don't know. I'm tending to think that, especially after he tweeted that no, that's not happening. Like, there's no way he can come out and it's like it was 190 million. Like that just seems like so semantic. So yeah. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see.
So
I think I agree with that because he was adamant about when he was even looking to get traded that he wanted Devontae. So I think when Nick said about taking a pay cut or a friendly deal, it was probably part of it. Like, hey, if you want us to keep Devontae, you might have to take a cut. So I think I would probably agree with that. He probably did that.
I think we're gonna find out really how team friendly Aaron Rodgers is once his contract details comes out. I think if he really wants to win a Super Bowl, he needs to hit some of those voidable years like Taysom Hill and Tom Brady took to help the cap space going. Because right now they have the worst cap space right now amongst any team, and that's including the Saints. I don't see how they're gonna put a team together.
They have a bunch of. They'll just restructure like a ton of contracts. I feel like they have a lot of guys.
Even if you get down to even breaking even, you can't even sign anyone to keep anyone. I mean, to get new players for next year.
So
How
what
you
does
gonna
that?
get free agency?
So what
do
does that
they,
mean for
what do
Green
they,
Bay?
what would you say their needs are though? If they bring everyone back and they restructure contracts?
I think they need a second receiver. Big Bob Tunyon. I mean, Robert Tunyon's pretty solid at tight end. I think he's be fine. The O line's pretty good.
It's the defense.
They
Their
just
defense
released
needs help.
Darius Smith.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
a couple
Zardarius Smith got
linebackers.
released, right?
Yeah, he
He's
got
released.
released.
So
That-
okay, so do you think this? What do you think this says? What do you think this means for the Packers, especially now that Tom Brady's gone too, and the NFC in general?
Yeah, but the Niners are still there, so
Hey, if the Niners get in the playoffs versus the Packers, it's all off because they
that's what I'm
stop them every
saying.
year.
Yeah, they're still there. So I'm with you on that. 4-0. I'm 0-4 against the Niners. So that's what I'm saying. So
Hey, I think
like,
I
what
think
does
they're
it mean?
going. I think they're going to the Super Bowl.
Those
You
are
think they're
Packers.
going?
I think the Packers. I think earlier I had my prediction with the Niners. I think, but now I don't know. Now they're keeping their two top weapons. So
What convinces you it's gonna be different from last year?
I honestly think the Niners might not be there. And if the Niners aren't there, and then now you have Russ out of that conference, he's not in the NFC anymore. So if you look at who makes playoffs,
Yeah.
The
the
NFC
Stafford
is
will
much
still be there.
more. I think the NFC is much more open for some competition now.
Yeah.
Because even still, even though they have the Aaron Rodgers, like the Packers still have some weird struggles throughout the season every now and again. Like they go through some weird losses and
Like that first game
look
of the season?
unstoppable. Yeah, like they look
Yeah.
unstoppable, and then they'll just have like a weird season, like a weird game, and they'll lose it, and then they come out in the playoffs and can't put up any points, and I think it'll be interesting. But I think it's pretty much wide open. I like it just because we're developing a young QB. I think it'll help and just that takes a little pressure off. But I think I don't know that it's going to change much for the Packers. They're always contenders, but they never seem to quite get there. So I'm not sure what changes about this.
I think it's their year. Because if we think about the NFC, who are legitimate contenders? Like we could say the Niners, we could
Rams.
say the Rams. Rams
Super
with their
Bowl
stacked
champion.
team. But who else? I mean, the Cowboys
Cardinals are still sleepers, but they
Yeah.
have shown they can't be consistent. And I still think Cliff Kingsbury is the worst coach in the NFC West. I think he's overrated. So if they
and then the
somehow pull it
Cowboys
out,
are on
yeah.
that same
Same boat.
path. They're like inconsistent.
Washington Commanders are there. They just need a QB. So I mean, they can get one squared up.
I mean Tampa Bay, but we don't know their QB situation. So
Wayne
that's good,
Gabbert.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think if Commanders, like from what I'm hearing with the Commanders, like calling up and asking for Mahomes and this and that, like I mean they're on a trail. I mean they're on a path. So I mean if they land a legit QB,
Like Deshaun
they could
Watson.
easily-
Watson.
yeah, they could easily run that division because it's a weak division. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Cowboys are stacked, but again, they're undisciplined.
Coaching.
Their coaching's bad.
Yeah.
They're so in debt to Zeke's contract, and they're losing weapons this year. So I think that there's some major concerns with them. And then Eagles, like
They lost
Jalen Hurts, hasn't really made that
Cooper.
next step. Yeah, and
What about Jags?
the Giants.
No, not if they keep Danny Dimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Giants are going to go into a rebuild too because they have they're already shopping Saquon, is my understanding.
So what about the Eagles with 3 first rounders? You think they could be anything legitimate next year?
If they trade those 3 first rounders for a new QB.
Like Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean, Nick. Like the NFC is just so wide open now. I mean, yeah, Packers. This is pretty much probably why Aaron Rodgers, like when he found out he's probably got a call from Russ. He's like, "Oh, you're going to NFC? All right, I'm staying over here. I'm staying put." So I don't know.
Like
The
imagine
NFC
if
is so
Russell
wide
would have
open.
moved. Imagine if Russ did leave and also join the AFC. That would be so awesome. I mean, if Rodgers had
Yeah.
left too,
That would be
and
insane.
just everyone's gone from the NFC.
Yeah.
Dude, the NFC would be like anybody can make it.
Yeah. I mean, Rams and Packers are already consensus like Super Bowl picks right now. The odds favorites, I'm sure. So I just don't know what's going to change with the Packers. They've looked awesome every year. I mean, you've had back-to-back MVP years. I just think like watch Russell Wilson come out with like the Aaron Rodgers MVP year and just like decimate the AFC. That would be sick. I would love that.
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't.
Seahawks fans crying everywhere. That's what I would love.
Or it goes downhill. Or it goes downhill and it doesn't
He's
work
not
out.
going
It's not
downhill.
going downhill, bro. It's
You
not
know what
going
the
down.
interesting
You
thing
never
about
know, man. You
Hey,
never
just-
know.
this will go back to the other conversation. The interesting thing about Russell Wilson, if you think about it, he's gotten 3 OCs fired. He's like the only top 5 QB that has OCs that don't go anywhere. Like, think of all the other like top QBs that the OCs end up going places or becoming head coaches and all this. Russell Wilson's never turned into anything. They keep getting fired. So I don't know. There's something there.
All right, going off of that, what do you guys think? So there was a lot of rumors that Broncos already was talking to Seattle Seahawks 2 weeks before, as of today, of getting Wilson. Do you think Rodgers already knew that he was going to stay?
I think those picks would have gone to probably Rodgers if they hadn't gone to Wilson. Or to the Packers instead of
Do you
this.
think it was Rodgers' decision to stay and
Yeah.
not go to the Broncos?
Yeah.
Or do you think the Broncos didn't want Rodgers and they'd rather have Russ? Much younger.
Or they didn't agree to the player trades, potentially. But
Yeah.
I still think Rodgers had other options if he wanted to leave. I don't think he was 100% like set, like, I have to go to Denver Broncos if I want to leave.
I don't see the Broncos trading all what they traded to the Packers because Rodgers has what realistically like 2-3 years. Russ is only 33. He can easily go another 7-8 years.
What do you guys think? You guys think Broncos was better off getting Russ than Rodgers?
I think so.
I think so.
I
too.
think okay. Let me correct that. So I think the next 2 years, obviously Rodgers would be the better decision, but the next 8-9 years, I think the Russ would be the better decision in the long term.
I think they're like
That's what I'm
5 years
Because
apart.
Rodgers already has kind of like he was talking about retiring now.
Yeah, he's
so
hinted at
once
that.
if he gets a ring, if you go to
He'll-
the Super Bowl and
he'll
win, he's
retire.
done. Like
Yeah.
so, like I think that's kind of on them. Like, hey, if we're gonna give all this capital, we don't want someone who's just gonna be like a year and then out. Like, you know.
I'm sorry. Does anybody know how much, how long Russ has on his contract? Is it 2 years, 3 years?
I'm sure he's gonna get a new
I
contract.
think it's just. I think it's like 2 years left, but
Yeah.
it's
So
like
it's 2 years.
he's gonna get it. They're gonna restructure it probably.
Mhm.
for
So
another
what
4
if
or 5
what if
years.
like Russell went and he got a ring, right? And just say he got one he got one ring one this year, then he didn't get it next year. He could just basically become a free agent and say, well, who's the best team out on the market? And I'll just go there. He could just hop around and just win Super Bowls like that.
if they don't offer him a new contract, but I'm guessing they're gonna give him a new contract.
Yeah, they would.
They
I'm sure.
should. They should.
I mean, if you
But-
trade all that capital, you would assume you've already kind of worked out. Hey, you're
Want to
also
lock him in?
signed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're looking like at 4 or 5 years.
at least.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be like, he'll be like 40, damn near, or if not over 40.
Yeah, he's 35. I
Oh,
think.
He's 33.
33.
Oh, he's 33? Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Then he's going to be
Almost
there.
40, I guess.
He'll be
That's
Rodgers.
solid.
He'll be like Rodgers because Rodgers is what, 38, 39?
So since he's on your top 5 QBs, Moy, you give him a new contract. How much is he making?
How much is he making?
How much is he
Compared-
going to make? If you're the
compared to
GM,
Rodgers?
he's your top 5 quarterback right on your list. I mean, how much are we talking? Over 40 million? 45
I'd say-
million? Is he getting Patrick Mahomes money? What is he going to get?
I don't think so. I think he's ring chasing. He's trying to build a super
Yeah.
team.
I don't think he's gonna be-
I think
yeah.
he's gonna get good money, but I don't think he's gonna try to set the market.
So
So
what's
you're
the
saying
number?
under 40? Under 40 million?
I'd say somewhere around there.
somewhere around.
If you
there.
guys,
contract.
if you guys
Give or
were
take
GMs,
around 40.
He's definitely
guys-
not looking to. Like Nick said, he's definitely not looking to be the highest paid.
Yeah.
You know.
He's married to Rihanna, so they're probably kind of set. It's kind of like the Tom Brady Giselle thing. So they're kind of okay with the money that I think they have.
Yeah.
He wants another ring.
what do you guys think is a realistic, a win-win for both Russ and Broncos contract?
Going to the playoffs, winning the Super Bowl.
So
I'm sure. They won the Super Bowl win.
he previously had a 4-year,
Super Bowl
$140
championship.
million contract.
Can you hold that up more?
Who doesn't want a Super Bowl championship?
Can you hold that up? Is that the fantasy championship trophy you made for yourself?
Yeah.
You're a 2-man league?
Nah, man. Don't hate. We move into rapid fire.
Moy versus Moy 1? Versus Moy 2 versus Moy 3? That was his fantasy team. Let's go rapid fire. You guys ready?
The whole time.
Rapid fire.
Rapid
We
fire.
ready.
10 seconds. 10
The
seconds.
champ is
everybody.
ready. The champ is ready.
10 seconds. Ray. You ready? We'll start off
10
with you, Ray.
seconds.
I'm
Ooh.
ready.
Will the Denver Broncos win the Super Bowl next year? Go. 10 seconds.
No,
Why? 10
because
seconds.
Baltimore's going to win the whole goddamn thing.
Come on,
Come on,
man.
be delusional.
Serious, man.
Jesus.
He is
told me 10
serious. He
seconds.
believes
You told
it
me my
every year, dude.
answer.
Every
Alright.
year he is serious.
You're worse than
Starting it
Cowboys
off with
fan.
him.
You're worse than
What the
Cowboys
hell?
fan.
I'm playing this rapid fire game. And I
Super
think
Bowl
my
every
league is
year.
over.
Oh my
Super Bowl
God.
every year.
MVP
What
and
the
Super
hell,
Bowl.
man?
And paying $50 million a year.
Everyone's
on,
reaction was priceless. Everyone's reaction was just priceless.
What?
All right, that was my fault for starting it off with this. Nick, will the Broncos win the Super Bowl next year? You saw Stafford do it with the Rams. Do you think Wilson can piggyback off that?
No.
Why not? 10 seconds, go quick.
I just think there's so much competition in the AFC. I think it's anyone's game with the Bills, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Ravens, just all those teams. Like we just saw at the end of last year, the Bills and the Bengals, and we just saw like how the Bills lost in the last like 4 seconds of the game with the crazy drive and stuff. Like I think we're gonna see some crazy games like that where it could just be anyone and it could be a fluke like win.
Yeah.
So I think
I'm with you.
there's just so many so much that could happen, and there's so much.
And just in the
competition.
division alone, forget
Yeah.
about the AFC. Just in the division alone. So I'm.
But
with
even
you.
when you get into the playoffs, it's going to be like,
Yeah.
so it's going to be a lot of factors. I think so.
Let's go, Nav. Will Denver Broncos win the Super Bowl? Will it stay
No.
in the AFC West?
No. Then the same thing going off of what Nick said.
No.
Rams. I mean, they're in the NFC, but AFC is a whole different area. And Russ coming over here, it's not gonna be easy. It's not. So there's no way. He's definitely gonna get to the playoffs. He could get past 1, maybe 2 games in the playoffs, but yeah.
Got
No,
you. Run
no.
it, boy. Come on, we need one yes.
Heck no.
Ah.
Because they're not going to repeat what the Rams did because one, they're not in a trash conference like the NFC. And two, Nick, all right, not trash, but it's not as competitive. Not as competitive. And two, they had Cup and they have Donald. Broncos don't have a Cup and a Donald. No.
All right, I'm gonna tell you guys why. I'm gonna tell you guys why they will win the championship. You ready?
Why?
I'm changing my Super Bowl.
shit.
I said the Bills. I think I said the Bills on the AFC. I'm changing it already. I'm going with the Denver Broncos. They got Russ Magic. They got Javonte Williams. They want to keep Melvin Gordon, right? They got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Albert. Okay, whatever. Can't even say his damn name. At tight end, they got a solid offensive line. Could get a little better. Their defense is just, a little bit young. Bradley Chubb, Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
What's the safety? Kareem Jackson, and the other one, Justin Simmons.
Mhm.
They got solid pieces to go along with it. A nice young head coach. I think they're going all in, and I think John Elway is going to do everything he can to build that team up, and I think they're going to get the Super Bowl this year.
Aren't some of those players you
Ooh.
mentioned injury prone? Don't they have a history of getting injured?
Come on, all players. could
Isn't
be
that
injury
team also
prone.
for sale? So John Elway is not even gonna be the owner.
Yeah. Yes. It's gonna be Kanye.
Yeah.
hey, that
Kanye and AB, I heard.
Kanye and AB. Yeah. There you go.
The Denver Yee.
Yay. The Denver Yay.
They're all gonna
Hey,
have to wear those
that's
masks.
that's why they got Wilson,
Yeah,
so he can sell the team so that it could be more appealing.
Yeah.
Business is
Darren
booming.
can perform at halftime shows.
Business is
Alright.
booming.
All right, next one, next
all right,
rapper.
we're gonna go backwards this time. More, you're gonna start it off, right?
All right,
You ready?
Yeah.
With Russell Wilson moving over to the AFC, is Lamar Jackson the top 5 even in the AFC?
Heck no. We look at my list here. Mostly
See it.
all of them
man.
are
You see it.
AFC, bro. Mostly all of them are AFC, except for Rodgers. We could take out Rodgers and put another AFC player there, another QB. Let's see. We could put in Herbert. I think I could
Herbert.
throw in Herbert in there.
You're just naming random people now.
Random people.
Deshaun Watson?
Think about it.
Deshaun
You
Watson?
know.
Watson is technically still in the AFC. He hasn't been
Watson-
traded, so
Watson
I
looks
would
like he's
put
looking
Watson
for
there. Hey, I would even put Murray there.
NFC.
Murray?
I mean, sorry, that's
That's
NFC. My bad.
He's
my
on the
bad.
Yeah,
Right.
NFC.
just
Yeah.
wait till Jimmy G comes to the Steelers.
See, my boy over here, he's just making shit up. You don't even know.
Let's go now.
He would put Tyler Huntley on the list before he'd put Lamar.
Yeah, he would. He would put Tyler Huntley on the
I'd rather have Tyler.
We'd have
Huntley.
Marcus
But anyways,
Mariota. We'd have
The hate is real, man. What the hell?
Not a
I'm
top
with you,
five.
boy. It's all good. I'm with you.
Not a
Nav,
top five.
I think he has
five in the
potential.
NFC.
I think he has potential, but I'm sorry, Ray. I don't think so. But
Not
he
even
does
the
have
AFC.
potential. I'll give him that. This is his year to prove it. If he can ball out and get his team to the playoffs and start winning, I think he has a say in the top 5.
I have no idea what Nick's gonna say, so I'm so excited to hear it. Let's go, Nick.
I think it could go either way. I
Yes or
think
no?
I think so. I think it depends though. If he can prove that he can be a true pocket passer and take the next steps, he could be
Been
a
saying
top
that for
5.
2 years.
But or if he could have an MVP season where he's a true dual threat like he did and has the running like he did, even if he's not the true passer, you could still and lead his team. You could still say he's within that top 5 just because of his ability and his elusiveness. But he hasn't been able to have that, and this last year he got injured. So I don't know that he's able to do that way. So my thing would be he would have to show progress as a true pocket passer.
Yeah.
And so I would say Justin Herbert as a pure QB right now, I think he has probably more talent passing, but I don't know that I would
Easily.
still rank him 5 in the top
Yeah.
5. Lamar has more tenure and experience, so I'd say he's right there with them. I don't know if I'd put
In
him
that
top
borderline
5.
area? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
I'd say depending on what he comes out this year. It's hard to put him,
Exactly.
especially coming off an injury, when
Yeah.
he didn't play.
Yeah.
So
All right, Ray, here we go. This is your moment to shine.
Wouldn't that be funny if I just came on here and I was like, he does not belong on that? Just everybody's
Tyler
mental
Huntley.
mind up. Nah, man, he deserves to be on that spot. He deserves to be on
Tell
there.
us why.
I mean, I think that I seriously think that this year is going to be just like Nick was saying, I'm literally going to piggyback off everything literally like Nick just said. I think this year he's going to prove everybody wrong. I think he's going to prove that he is up there with those guys. As far as I get it, he's a different quarterback. I understand that he runs the ball and I get all that. But as far as passing though, he's been posting a lot of videos of him passing right now and just kind of just trying to, he's already worked on himself. He's not even,
Yeah,
but one
most
last thing,
quarterbacks
I
are
also
working
got to
right
ask
now.
you guys. I'd like to ask you guys this: what do you guys think? I don't mean to. I know I'm trying to piggyback off the question, not trying to deter from it or anything, but his contract situation is really weird. I don't know if you guys have been really keeping up with this stuff, but I'm hella nervous because I don't know if he's going to sign with our team. And it's weird because I've never seen a GM say, unless obviously maybe you're Rodgers or you're whatever, but I've never really seen a guy just says oh, Lamar, yeah, you can call me, just call me or text me and we'll be happy to talk, but it's on your time. I've never seen that. It's just on his time. It doesn't matter about the rate, the Ravens organization. I think they were saying that he might try to do franchise tags for a couple of years because he's just going to get, it's guaranteed money, right? So the franchise tag I heard from this year is 40, it might be 47, 48 million just to franchise tag a quarterback. But then next year, it's going to jump up 120% or something. Because the TV deals, there's something about the TV deals that are happening right now. It's going to pump so much.
going up.
The cap's going to go up ridiculous. So he may not just want to sign with us or might just, and it kind of leaves Baltimore in a shitty spot because we got to pay him $23 million guaranteed unless we sign him to a deal. I just kind of wanted, do you guys think he's going to resign? I think he's doesn't want to sign. I'm not saying he doesn't want to
this.
Baltimore.
How do you feel about 2 first-round picks and Drew Lock?
I don't feel good about that. Bro, we might as well just take. Oh my god!
Watch
what's gonna happen.
the Seahawks trade all that capital. That's my fear. They're going to trade that capital for someone else.
Because if you're a team, right? Let's just say it's Trey Lance's turn, right? And say Trey Lance becomes seriously, he's an amazing top 5, easy top 3 quarterback. And don't get me wrong, yes, you would want to franchise tag him, but if he's just like, I'm good. I just want to be like franchise tagged, and I'd rather just take the money and then just do that for a couple years. And he's already made like way more than Patrick Mahomes probably ever made in his first 2 years, like under contract. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's going to sign. And I'm kind of nervous about it because I want him to sign for sure. But like, I don't think he's going to do it.
I think he will.
I think it's all just tactics, just negotiation tactics.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a negotiator. See, that's what makes it more. He's just representing himself. He doesn't even have an agent. He has no agent. So who are they going to talk to? They have to talk to him.
The other thing is Baltimore seen what they could do without him.
They lost like every game.
Yeah,
they literally lost every game. So it kind of sucks. But
their system is built. It's like the system with Kaepernick. It's built for Lamar's skill set. Like
a mobile quarterback.
It's not going to excel the same way. And not even a mobile quarterback. Lamar was like the like he was a different kind of mobile quarterback. Like he doesn't just elude people. Like he was just like untouchable at certain phases. Like he was just, the way he could navigate and run out, after the fact and score touchdowns and go on like 60-yard runs and stuff like that. Like, Wilson's a mobile quarterback, but he doesn't even run like that. Like Lamar had a certain way of running.
Kyler Murray too. He can't. Nowhere close.
Only difference is Kyler Murray has started taking some hits and it's paying. I mean, well, I guess Lamar was injured last year. I think it's hard with Lamar because he's coming off an injury, and it's like, are we gonna commit to this guy? Like, if he's gonna be injured and he can't run anymore, can he pass? I don't know. It's a hard spot for it. I think they're kind of in the same spot like the Raiders are at. Like, what are we gonna do? And I think Lamar's kind of weighing his options too. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
So real quick, going back to the original question, you said that he would have to take the next step, right? So in your opinion, what is that? Like for him to be a top 5, what does he have to do this year?
Obviously
top 5.
Well, I mean, if he has to be top 5, he's going to have to, I guess, improve in the passing game, really, but he's also going to have to prove in the running game too. Because that's the style. That's how he is. That's just the way he is. Like But
what do you mean by that? Like
I mean, because everyone's
personal stats. So like he pads his stats and doesn't make playoffs, and he's still a top 5 then.
If he makes the stats,
if he has all these, like 1,000 yards rushing, several thousand yards passing, but his team doesn't make playoffs. Like they don't make playoffs. He's a top 5.
Well, that's tough to say because. Put it to you this way. See, I would say yes, but in your situation, Moy, I feel like you're going to change the narrative, right? So what I mean by that, no. I say, but if that was Rodgers, let's just be real here. You have number 1 is Patrick Mahomes, right? Say Patrick Mahomes has one of the best seasons of his life, but his team goes, I don't know, 1-16, top 5.
But he's already.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So like Lamar, if Lamar did that, let's say Lamar had a better season than his MVP season, and the team didn't make it to the championship or the playoffs. But he did better than Patrick Mahomes. He did better than Rodgers, and he just ran 1,000+ yards and just was shattering records left and right. I still don't feel, just because I know it's you guys and I just know it's everyone in this damn group, I feel like you guys would still say no. I still like
the Ravens,
no.
But I think the team winning has to go along with the performance because if we want to talk about stats, then we get into the same topic that we trash the Cowboys for, and we say Dak Prescott just has stats because he pads his stats because they're always coming back in the fourth quarter playing prevent defense, and he's just bombing it, and he looks great, and he looks all this, but they are still a losing franchise. Like they can't get there. Like so, I think it has to be both. He has to do good, and he has to put up numbers that are 3,500 yards, 4,000 yards in passing, 35 touchdowns, and 15 rushing touchdowns, or something like that. Yeah, I think. But I mean, first off, he needs to stay healthy. If he can't come back and stay healthy, then I think you're in for a real problem. If he starts to like you said, just like you think Russell Wilson's declining and body's breaking down. Well, you have a mobile QB who is no longer mobile. So I think that's where you run into some concerns.
Yeah.
Robbie, what was your take on it?
It's honestly so hard. So it just.
Well, he thinks Mac Jones is top 10, top 5. So.
Oh yeah, Mac Jones. I would take Mac Jones over Patrick Mahomes any day. No, I'm just kidding. realistically, I think I'm kind of with Nick. He's just like in the AFC. I mean, like total NFL, he's definitely not top 5. But in the AFC, he's just right on that verge. Like looking at your list right there, more you got Mahomes win a Super Bowl, Rodgers. I'm sorry, skip Rodgers. Wilson AFC win a Super Bowl. Burrow made it to the Super Bowl, came after Lamar. Allen, I mean, he got, he should have beat the Chiefs. But anyways, whatever happened, happened. But the consistency of them all winning games and Lamar just being 1-3 and the postseason and can't win, and he's just a completely different quarterback in the postseason. He's just everyone says, oh, he needs to improve on his passing, and we've been saying it since he entered the league, and I just don't see any improvement on his passing. I don't think he's top 5 in the AFC yet. I think he can do it. I think he can definitely do it, but I just don't see him.
So who's your 5th guy then, Rob?
That's so hard.
Minus Rodgers, because now it gets interesting because I think Lamar's better than Herbert. So if you're going to say Herbert, like Moyne said Herbert, I think you're going to. I mean, who else besides you have Carr, you have Herbert, you have.
I would honestly take.
Watson's still in the AFC.
Watson's still in the AFC. Watson's definitely better. But let's take Watson out. Let's say Watson doesn't exist, right? Because he took a year off and whatever.
Well, wait, hold on here. How could you guys say that Deshaun Watson's better than Lamar when Deshaun Watson had? I mean, I get it. Granted, Lamar hasn't done, and I'm talking about Super Bowls or playoffs. Deshaun's never did anything either.
Right. He's definitely not done anything. You're completely right. But the fact is that he can actually pass the ball. He can actually pass the ball. That's the only difference between him and Lamar.
But Lamar can pass.
Deshaun Watson doesn't have nearly the elusiveness that Lamar has. Lamar is just completely electric. It's something like Mike Vick watching him out there. It's just completely different. But I value a quarterback that can throw the ball more than a quarterback that can run the ball way more, because what was the last mobile quarterback to win a Super Bowl? I can't even, who would you consider?
Russell Wilson.
I mean, is he truly he takes off here and there, but I mean, is he truly just that mobile of a quarterback? He's nowhere near as mobile as a Lamar mobility.
He got an arm.
Quarterback,
He
got an arm. He can sling that ball. He
can
sling that ball with accuracy that Lamar can't do. That's what I'm saying. So for me.
So for you, it's accuracy. So is it accuracy, Rob, that you're looking that you need to see Lamar? I mean, what does Lamar need to do as far as throwing the football? Because
accuracy.
I just would love to see those accuracy.
Reading the field, knowing where the guys are, pitching the ball, calling the plays. There's just so much more leadership.
Got to be the captain.
I would probably take in the next 5 years. If I was to build a quarterback, I would rather build it around Justin Herbert than Lamar Jackson.
I think too, it depends on at least I don't follow the Ravens enough to know what is Lamar's responsibility. Is he calling is he calling the play? Is he checking out? Is he the one responsible for making sure the mics check? There's a lot of things. Is he good? Does he call the right check down or not check downs?
Audibles and all
the
that.
audibles. Does he call the right things? So I don't know if he's doing that or not, but that all goes into it, I think, too, and how that offense operates. So I mean, there's a lot to it. I think that I just don't know enough.
And then to come back on your side, right? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, to answer Nick's question real fast on the shop, I guess, with LeBron James thing, the show that he went on. They asked him about it, can you call a play? He goes, yeah. So he was kind of calling a little bit of a play, but he was just letting everyone know, so he gets the call in, and we once you see everything on the field, he's like, then I make my checks. He's like, the offensive linemen really do that job, to be honest with you. He's like, to be honest, I kind of he's like, if you guys are there, he's like, we've been doing nothing but film studies. So the offensive linemen are the ones who are really communicating and giving it back to him. And he's just if he sees something wrong, he'll point it out. But that's he's like, honestly, that's it.
Well, the center does that a lot. The center,
but that's that. I feel like that's for every football team, though. It's not just for quarterbacks. I mean, because I think we're used to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning doing those fake audibles or whatever signs or whatever the hell they're doing to throw the defense.
They know what they're doing. It's not fake. It's not fake.
No, but they know what they're doing.
Especially Peyton Manning.
But you know what I mean. But I feel like you don't have to be so vocal. You don't have to just be like Patrick Mahomes. I don't really see him doing too much. I mean,
he checks into plays way more than
but every
way more
quarterback
than
checks
Lamar
into
does.
plays, though. Just because Lamar, like you're saying Lamar because he doesn't check in plays is not like a top 5.
No.
But he does though. He does it every game.
To me, it shows that they probably don't have the trust in his ability or his IQ to make.
But every quarterback gets a play called in their headphone set.
Yeah, but then there's also that some quarterbacks have more say on what they can audible at.
Well, once the play's called, any quarterback, it doesn't even matter if you're Mac Jones, a rookie. I mean, if you see something not there, you're going to change the play. If Mac Jones is a rookie and Josh McDaniels calls, he says, "Hey, we're going to run it," and he sees 8 man in the box, he's gonna be like, "Fuck that shit! I'm going to throw the ball." Like,
I think we've seen. I think the main thing is I've seen, at least in my, like I said, my limited viewing, I've just seen some poor decisions made. And I've seen times where when he decided to bail out or run, or he just threw it into like double coverage or, like triple coverage, or just didn't make the right reads. I think that's where it sets apart. And I think you're right that's where I'm saying, like, I'm not sold on Herbert. I think Herbert has better passing ability and talent and arm talent, but I haven't seen anything from him to say that he's going to take that next step either. Just like Josh Allen looked like trash his first couple of seasons, and no one would have said you're top 5. But he is that rare player that evolves and takes that next step. And, he could have a down season next year or whatever, but he's trended up and he's shown that he can take those next steps. So I think to me, Herbert has to do that in order to knock Lamar out. Right now, I think Lamar is kind of has to take those steps to get himself concreted in that top 5 of the AFC.
Yeah, for me I watched Lamar play a lot more this season. Well, the games that he was able to play, but so
shots fired.
For me, when I look at it, so like you have Mahomes and Wilson, right? They're like the Houdinis, but their instinct isn't always when they're gonna get tackled or lose yardage. Their instinct isn't to immediately take off. They still stay back there and dodge the tackles and then still make that bomb throw. When I watch Lamar, it's also because of his talent. His first instinct is to immediately take off running, which that's not a bad thing because he's very mobile and he's agile, but he doesn't have that instinct to where, okay, I'm going to break a few tackles and then still I'd rather take the long bomb, that's there, or try to run it
It's the same with Russell Wilson. What he's done, he will scramble and he'll run on you, but what he's trying to do is extend the play, and his eyes are, and same thing, if you watch Trey Lance, same thing he's doing. He's a mobile quarterback, but he's not trying to run. He's trying to just extend the play, and their eyes downfield. Like, they're trying to look for the deep pass. They're just trying to keep the play alive enough to get that pass in, but they will run if they need to. And I think that's where we've seen some that not quite decision making, I think, on Lamar's side. Or tending to bail out and then eating sacks or things like that. So
but just to piggyback off of you, Ray, like it's not like we're saying, oh, Lamar can't call the plays, that's why he's not good. We're saying, it's A, B, C, D, E. Like, there's a list. It's a combination of everything. But to kind of go back to you, like, I mean, I kind of understand why it's so frustrating to keep pointing that Lamar is at the top 5 because, like, Lamar doesn't have Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. He doesn't have Diggs. He doesn't have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Like he has Andrews in Hollywood, but I mean, like, are you gonna take Andrews in Hollywood over Kelsey and Tyreek Hill? Like, I know what you mean. It's
he has to play hero ball.
It's
like,
so hard.
Save the team.
Yeah, it pretty much. Yeah, he's pretty much playing hero ball. But then also too, like, it didn't make his case any better that like half our team was like injured. And I hate using the injuries as an excuse, but at some point you got to validate that, though. I mean, we literally had no running backs.
Hey, Niners literally have no running backs, but they make it happen.
But the Niners, though, they got that good. They got somebody from the 6th round. What was his Mitchell, right? Mitchell, he was really good, dude. He was really good. He's a really good football player. He's not like trash, but okay, well, put Mitchell. Would you rather have Mitchell or Le'Veon Bell?
Hey, honestly,
or Devontae Freeman. I mean, Devontae Freeman could barely turn that corner. He's like old now. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have anybody.
Hey, I'm convinced.
Ronnie Stanley's gone too.
That also
that's a
then
huge
goes back to
part of our offense.
But the thing is, it also, like, that's also what sets those QBs apart is, like, the ability to do it without those people, or like just to elevate everyone around them to that next level. So I think like they don't have it, but I mean that's also on the team for not building it out for him, or like you said, injuries happen. So
Yeah.
I'm convinced that the Niners force every player to learn how to play running back.
Yeah.
no, the
In
Niners
case
force
one goes
the
down,
Niners
Defensive
force-
line.
Bro, they just hit Debo.
we got a
Niners- no,
receiver. We got a
you know
receiver
what?
we could throw back there too.
You know what's the thing?
We got a
with the
tight
Niners?
end we could throw back there.
The
as a
Niners
running
is
back.
every player has to know how to run block, dude. Like we don't play wide receivers if they can't run block. Like honestly, that's why Ayuk was in the doghouse, like because he was like he was not going all Kyle Shanahan for as like cool and trendy as he is with his Yeezys and this and that. Like he's super old school. Like if you don't put it in practice, he's not playing you on the field. Like it's just but. No, we just got Debo. Like we Debo is like just built like a running back. So
Was that the last rapid fire?
That was it.
That was it.
All I got. Yeah.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in and listening to another session of 4th and 1.
Not top 5 Lamar.
Haters, man. Haters. Haters.